In August 2025, the U.S. government launched a sweeping review of every foreign national legally present in the country. 55 million people now face unprecedented scrutiny. This isn't about border crossings, it's about those already here, who followed the rules and were approved to enter. The Trump administration's new policy marks a fundamental shift. Enforcement now targets people with valid visas: students, skilled workers, tourists, and more. The stated goal is national security, but the scale is staggering. No non-citizen is exempt. The message is clear: a visa is a temporary privilege, not a guarantee. Under continuous vetting, federal agencies now monitor visa holders for any new information that could make them ineligible. Criminal charges, job changes, or even online activity. This creates a state of perpetual review for every non-immigrant visa holder. Even minor infractions or statements can trigger a review long after the initial visa interview. The announcement has sent shockwaves through immigrant communities. For millions, their lives, jobs, homes, children are built on their visa status. The idea that their permission to be here is under constant re-examination creates deep instability. Legal experts and advocates are scrambling to understand what actions could trigger revocation and how to defend against it. The review isn't just a policy change, it could reshape the lives of a significant portion of the U.S. population. The government's approach signals a new era. Everyone is under the microscope all the time. The process is ongoing, with no clear end in sight. For many, the American dream now feels more fragile than ever. The foundation of legal presence has become uncertain. 55 million people are living with the knowledge that their future in America could be reconsidered at any moment. The 55 million visas under review represent a vast, diverse group: tourists, business travelers, students, workers, artists, and more. Tourists and business visitors fuel the U.S. economy, but now every move and transaction could be monitored. International students, who bring global perspectives and pay full tuition, face scrutiny of their social media, campus activities, and even academic work. Their education and future careers are at risk if they're deemed ideologically non-compliant. Millions of foreign workers, tech professionals, farm laborers, healthcare staff, are also under review, creating uncertainty for them and the businesses that rely on their skills. Even fiancés, artists, athletes, and journalists are included, despite entering through legal channels. The new process dismantles the sense of security these individuals once had. Now, their legal status is fragile, subject to shifting political priorities. The review covers every visa category from students to seasonal workers. For many, the promise of a stable, temporary home in America has been replaced by anxiety. The policy's reach is total. No one is exempt. The impact ripples through families, workplaces, and communities. Every visa holder must now navigate a landscape of constant surveillance. The sense of belonging and safety is eroding. For millions, the American experience is now defined by uncertainty. The heart of the crackdown is continuous vetting, a system where federal agencies never stop monitoring visa holders. Background checks are now ongoing, with digital files updated constantly. Social media and electronic devices are under scrutiny. Applicants may be required to grant access to their accounts. Government software scans online activity for keywords and sentiments deemed problematic. Even a tweet or a like can become part of an immigration record. The ideological component is controversial. Officials look for anti-American or undesirable beliefs, including criticism of U.S. policy or support for certain causes. The definition is broad, giving wide discretion to flag individuals for their political views. This has created a chilling effect. Visa holders self-censor, avoid protests, and steer clear of activism. Students hesitate to join campus groups. Workers fear speaking out. Living in the U.S. on a visa now feels like a never-ending probation. Any misstep, real or perceived, could mean abrupt deportation. The experience of being a visa holder has fundamentally changed. Visa revocation grounds have expanded dramatically. Traditional reasons, serious crimes or overstaying, still apply, but now public safety and national security are interpreted more broadly. Affiliations, donations, or even humanitarian work in conflict zones can trigger scrutiny. The most controversial change visas can be revoked for anti-American or anti-Semitic ideologies. This includes protest participation, critical writing, or supporting certain movements. For non-citizens, speech that's protected for Americans can now be grounds for removal. Presence in the U.S. is conditional not just on behavior, but on beliefs. Critics say this creates a two-tiered system, denying basic freedoms to millions. The line between security and censorship has blurred. Enforcement actions have surged. Over 6,000 student visas revoked in 8 months, many for activities in a gray area of protected speech. Hundreds lost visas for participating in pro-Palestinian protests or writing critical opinion pieces. A few hundred were linked to alleged support for terrorist groups, though details remain secret. Fear now pervades campuses. Academic freedom feels risky. Deportations are up, with an estimated 400,000 people on track to be removed in 2025. Raids target workplaces and public spaces, disrupting communities and straining the system. The administration recently halted new worker visas for truck drivers, citing safety and job protection. English proficiency requirements for foreign drivers are now strictly enforced. The message, no profession is safe from review, even where labor shortages exist. 2025 saw a rapid escalation of immigration restrictions. After Trump's return, agencies were told to use all available authority, shifting focus to those here legally. In April, hundreds of student visas were abruptly revoked, then partially restored after backlash. May brought a pause on new student visa interviews, creating a bottleneck for incoming students. June formalized mandatory social media vetting for student applicants. August saw a halt on new truck driver visas, then the bombshell, all 55 million active visas would be reviewed. The pattern is clear: aggressive enforcement, new vetting, and sweeping authority to revoke legal status. The landscape for immigrants has changed dramatically in just months. The Trump administration defends these policies as essential for national security and sovereignty. Officials argue that visas are privileges, not rights, and that ideological screening is common sense. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and USCIS spokespeople insist America must deny benefits to those who despise the country. Critics, including the ACLU and immigrant advocates, warn that targeting political opinions is authoritarian and undermines free speech. The term anti-American is vague, risking the silencing of dissent. Universities and business leaders argue the policies harm the U.S. by driving away talent and labor. The crackdown is seen as part of a broader rollback of humanitarian protections. Critics say it attacks the idea of America as a welcoming nation. The debate is fierce security versus freedom, privilege versus rights. The administration's stance is unwavering, but opposition is growing. The future of U.S. immigration hangs in the balance. Most foreign nationals need a visa to enter the U.S., an official document granting permission for a specific purpose. A visa doesn't guarantee entry. Border officers make the final call. The visa waiver program allows citizens of 40 countries to visit for up to 90 days without a visa, but most of the world must apply. The process is complex forms, documentation, fees, and interviews at embassies. There are many visa types: student, worker, tourist, business, journalist, fiancé, and more. Each of the 55 million active visas falls into one of these categories. The new review process applies to all, regardless of reason for stay. No matter the category, every visa holder is now subject to continuous scrutiny. The system is all-encompassing. The rules have changed for everyone. The review of 55 million visas has created a climate of fear and uncertainty for immigrants. Every action, online post, or association now carries risk, discouraging engagement and free expression. Students and workers may look elsewhere, threatening America's status as a magnet for global talent. The new policies could lead to a brain drain, harming innovation and competitiveness. America's image as a land of opportunity is shifting towards suspicion and exclusion. Diplomatic and cultural consequences may follow as the U.S. turns inward. For visa holders, the future is precarious. Legal status depends on shifting political winds. The line between welcome guest and undesirable alien is blurred. Life in America now feels like permanent probation. The dream that brought millions here is more fragile than ever. The stakes are high for individuals, families, and the nation. The story of U.S. immigration is being rewritten, one visa at a time.